When I finish teaching a class, I just feel very satisfied because I communicated a message. I thought students were interested. I've always had a passion to explain other things. So when I was very little, I would put my dolls and I would try to teach a class to my dolls. I get a lot of satisfaction out of this. My teaching style just responds to the sorts of things that I thought I never got. And so it's almost like when I teach a class right now, I almost think that I'm teaching it to myself.
When you have a professor that loves a subject, it kind of conveys onto everyone else. So even if you don't like econ, you enjoy the class. So I think that right there makes a good learning environment, which makes her an excellent professor.
Each class has to have its own structure. Each class is self-contained, and each topic deserves a presentation, a discussion, an example. The class has to have many elements going on at the same time. And I think about how to teach a topic. What sorts of elements can I bring into this particular topic in order to make it much more, in order to explain it better, in order to involve the students more.
She gets everyone involved. Her energy is amazing.
She's very thorough in her lectures. We get PowerPoint slides beforehand.
You have to pick a country and research. You have to talk to people. You have to explain things. So you get involved. You don't just sit there. You're active.
Class has to be a joint discovery. In order for this knowledge to have some meaning, you need to give more than just a model. You need to then take it to reality. Most of the time, the students are not going to remember the details of the model. They are just going to remember ideas that mean something for themselves, and they are going to learn just a way to relate to them, a way to think about things, a way to approach knowledge.
I've learned a lot about development economics. I think the fact that she's from Colombia, she'll always have an example which is pertinent to the country.
You really see that what you're learning about is relevant to things that actually are affecting millions of people's lives.
Economics is a much more general thing. It is a reflection on uses of resources in order to produce things that mean something for people. This really relates to the sorts of questions that are really fundamental for me. Like, I grew up in a household where my father was several times unemployed. So I just couldn't understand why it was so difficult to find a job. And then when I start looking at unemployment, how people find jobs, how the situation in the economy can affect people in particular, everything started making sense, and things kind of came close together. Korea wanted to foster industrialization through a big push in steel, but they did not disregard the rural areas. By telling them that there are other realities, they start realizing that the knowledge they are acquiring is even more powerful than what they expected, because they can use it to understand their reality, but they can also use it to understand things that they have not seen, but that exist. So that gives knowledge this really universal purpose. I think that we have to continue to emphasize the personal aspects of teaching. Coming to class means going beyond what the media material can tell you. The personal interaction between students and professors and students among themselves, and the fact that coming to discuss something is also important. This is the value we have to now work on when we teach.